Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining the next session of the day here at the Insights Tech Showcase. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. As usual, you can leave any questions you have in that Q&A box, and we will get to as many of those as we can at the end of the session. Also, anywhere on your session page, there's a button that says Book Time with Me. If you click that, it'll take you to NIT's website where you can book a demo privately if you want to learn more. But I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, Aneesh.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kara. And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today at NIT's session on empowering video and open-ended analysis through AI. My name is Aneesh. I'm one of the co-founders here and the CEO of NIT. For those of you guys hearing about NIT for the very first time, we are an AI-native insights platform combining the power of quantitative, video, and AI to help some of the best brands in the world get a quicker and more holistic understanding of their audience. Now, we do all of this through our AI native platform, which helps automate and streamline every single step of the research process, from you sharing your business and research objectives and it generating a survey for you, to it helping you gather and qualify high quality sample, to analyzing open-ended video and quant data, which we'll discuss more today, to finally helping you build out powerful and beautiful stories with your customer data. So we're all probably here today because we all see major opportunities in helping our brands better leverage the data that we already have. And this is a huge problem that exists for almost any major enterprise brand, with over 60% of all data within an enterprise brand going unused. And we've all probably been in this guy's position here in this picture, where analyzing this data, especially unstructured qualitative data, can be incredibly time consuming and painful. In fact, we found that if you're doing this manually, analyzing about 300 open-ended text responses can take anywhere from 3 hours to 6 hours. And if you multiply that across having several open-ended text responses within your survey, that can take anywhere from 9 to 42 hours. That's pretty much one full business day up to a full week of work. Now, because of that, it's no surprise that many of us probably don't use all that data, probably don't use every single open-end text data that we get. In fact, we're hearing that and seeing that from many of our partners before they started working with us here at NIT. Now, all of those challenges just compound when it comes to video data. So with video responses, we found that you're getting up to 6 times as much data. So if your typical open-end text response is 1 to 2 sentences long, you can expect your typical video response to be anywhere from 10 to 12 sentences long. And so that just complicates and compounds all the challenges that you run into with open-end text once you start gathering video and incorporating video in your research, asynchronous video in this case. So that's really why we built NIT. We want to take this process that can take anywhere from 1 to 5 days and help you do that instantly. And the way we've been doing that for our brand partners today is through our AI platform. And within our AI platform, there's really 3 tools that help our brand partners better analyze open-ended text data, video data, and then also tell a powerful story with all of that data. And those 3 tools are our AI-generated summaries tool, our contextual analysis tool, and our research assistant. So over the next couple minutes here, what I'd love to do is walk you through a case study of how one of our brand partners in the QSR space actually used the NIT platform to help them analyze hours and hours of video data and hundreds and really close to thousands of open-end text responses to really pull out some of those unique insights and then tell a powerful story with those insights across their organization. Now, before we dive into this specific use case, I just want to share that our brand partners are using NIT across a variety of different use cases in their business. Today, we'll focus specifically on more foundational and behavioral research, looking at the research objective of helping uncover and analyze some of the core drivers for consumer brand loyalty in the QSR space. So in this case, our partner actually tapped into our panel of over 10 million respondents or through our partners. And we will talk a little bit more about this, but we're really excited to have launched a product which allows you to bring in your own panel or your existing data. But in this case, they worked with us to gather that sample, got over 300 responses, with over 100 of those respondents sharing video feedback for a total of over 400 video responses. And the sample we're looking at today are 18 to 65-year-olds. We're mirrored the total U.S. census here, and these are all folks that have purchased from a QSR brand at least once a month. And end to end, this entire research study took about 4 days, from survey design all the way to reporting. So to dive into this, I know we're really focused today on open-end text and video, but one of the really powerful aspects of NIT is our ability to combine this qualitative data with quantitative data. So we'll actually start off with some of the unique insights that they found from the quant section of the study first. So in this study specifically, we asked over 30 plus different quant questions, and this helped our partner get some really interesting insights to then bring to life with some of the qualitative data. So for example, one of the things they found were some of the core factors in determining what makes a consumer really like a QSR brand. In this case, it came down to the quality of the food, the price of the food, and the customer service they were receiving. And if you double tap into that idea of food quality, they found that consumers are willing to pay more for higher quality ingredients, about 50% of those consumers. And this was especially true of younger consumers, where we found that Gen Z and millennials over-indexed in their willingness to pay more versus older generations like Gen X and boomers. Now, the idea behind this study and the qualitative portion of this study was to bring some of those nuggets, some of those insights that they found in the quant section to life with that qual section. And through our video capture feature, they were able to collect, again, over 400 of these asynchronous 1 to 5 minute long video responses. That equated to about 5 hours of video data that they received. And in addition to this, they got hundreds of these open-ended text responses as well. So we'll kind of walk through now how they were using our different AI tools that we talked about earlier today to actually go about and analyze this data and pull out really interesting and really powerful insights from it. So we'll just take a look at one specific question today, talking about how the question here was, think about your favorite QSR dining brand. What factors contribute to your loyalty of this brand? So the first place where most of our partners start is around our AI summary tool. And what the AI summary tool allows our partners to do is to get this 30,000-foot overview of what's being said across the data set. Now, a couple things to call out on how this tool works. The first thing is it really helps you quantify some of that qualitative data. So if you look at this insight around freshness that the AI generated, it found that the freshness of the food was a significant factor mentioned by 63% of participants. So it's actually able to put a number, it's able to quantify what it's seeing across that qualitative data set. The second thing is, and you can see these in the green boxes here, it actually helps you cite every single source. So if you click into that green box, you'll see all 74 mentions, all 74 of those videos that mention the theme of freshness here. You can see this later on in the summary as well with the theme of consistency. So consistency in the food quality and customer service was mentioned by 15% of respondents. And then you can see those 18 mentions of that if you click into the green box there. So this way, our partners are always getting that high level 30,000-foot overview, but they also get a little bit more granular insights from the quantification, as well as the ability to double tap into any of those themes and see exactly where the data is coming from, so that they're always in control and can always trust where the data is coming from. Now, as researchers, we probably want to get a lot more granular than just that. And that's why we've created this AI contextual analysis tool, which helps you identify and code these key themes that are coming out of the qualitative data set, very similar to how a human researcher would as well. Now, as we dive through this, the entire idea behind NIT is not to replace the researcher, but actually empower them by eliminating 70 to 80% of the kind of grunt work that goes in and actually identifying these themes and coding these themes and then building out these theme trees and hierarchies. the goal here is to just take all that work off your plate so that you can spend more of your time on figuring out how do you actually take these insights and drive action in your business. So as we identify all these themes, which you can see the AI has coded here, there's always that ability to double tap and make sure that you're getting into the weeds, into the nitty gritty behind this so that you can ensure that these insights are valuable to your business and accurate for your business. So for example, within food quality, if you double tap into that, you'll see some of those themes, a few which we called out in the summaries slides just before this, like freshness, for example, with 74 mentions of that. If you click into freshness, you'll actually be able to see every single video that was mentioned or mentioned the theme freshness. And you have full control over every single theme that was coded here. So if you don't agree with how it was coded or you would like to actually code it a different way, you can really easily highlight these and customize it. And the AI will kind of learn with you and be your co-pilot in that process. Consistency was another theme we explored in the summary page. You'll see it pop up here as well. And very similarly, you can see each and every single one of those 18 videos that mentioned consistency as a theme to double tap and dig a little bit deeper to make sure that, again, you're in the driver's seat of this entire analysis process. Now, one of the key aspects of a data set like video especially is that not only does it give you a lot more context, but it also helps you tell a really powerful customer story. And that's where our video showreels feature really helps bring that to life. So with our video showreels feature, you can take any of these videos and select them. So in this case, let's say we want to tell this really powerful story around consistency and freshness. So you can select all the videos that fall within those themes, as we identified earlier, and then you can add them to a showreel here. And what the showreel feature allows you to do is develop these really powerful sizzle reels or customer showreels. And we do it in a way that makes it really easy for you to do it. So by simply highlighting the transcription, it will edit that portion of the video. You can drag and drop it in order, really spruce it up, polish it up with background music, with your own branding, and then easily share this through a link with your stakeholders. And again, the combination of this video with the Quant makes it a really powerful way to bring some of that Quant data to life. Now, as you share these insights across the organization, of course, you're going to have follow-up questions from your stakeholders. And even as you're going through the analysis process, if you have really pointed questions about the data set, you can easily ask those questions to our AI chatbot, Ada. And the great thing about Ada is it allows you to, again, combine both the quantitative and the qualitative data. So not only can you ask that pointed question across the entire qualitative data set, you can actually layer on different lenses from the quantitative data set. So any attribute that you collected in the quant side, you can now layer on top of the qual. So what does that look like in practice? What it looks like is it allows you to ask questions like, what are the main drivers to switch from your favorite dining brand? And it allows you to then layer on different lenses from the quant data. So maybe you want to look at a certain demographic like Gen Z. Now you can select across all the Gen Z respondents. You can add on to that. You can compound that. So in addition to Gen Z, maybe you want to look at people that purchase from a QSR at a certain frequency. You can now ask these questions to that specific subset, and it will generate, very similar to this summary tools that we went through, a very detailed summary for you with citations so that you're always in control. So in this case, some of the main drivers to switch from your favorite dining brands include things like the consistency of the food, or in this case, the lack of consistency, to health concerns. If you get food poisoning or get sick from the food, that was another driver to switch to a different dining brand. So with that, we'll start wrapping up today's presentation, so we have plenty of time for Q&A. I also know it's a Friday afternoon, so hopefully everyone gets a little bit of time back. But there's a ton of things we didn't have a chance to cover in today's presentation, including a ton of our other AI features, from our survey generator to our reporting feature. If you're ever interested in learning more about that, feel free to sign up for a demo on our platform. We'd love to show you a little bit more. And if you found any of what we walked through today, any of the features we walked through as something that could be valuable to your organization, we did just release an awesome tool that allows you to import any existing data set that you might have onto the Knit platform. You can get started right away and start analyzing any data that you might already have, especially if it's quant and open-end text data. We can help you with that analysis right away. So lastly, if you want to see how other brands have been using Knit for different use cases, feel free to scan these QR codes. They'll take you to some public presentations we've done with partners at recent conferences as well. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Kara, and we'd love to dive into some Q&A. Thank you all for your time today, and excited to answer any questions.
Yeah, thanks so much, Aneesh. That was great. Thanks for sharing those resources at the end as well. And for anyone who joined a little bit late today, no worries. This session will be available on demand as soon as it's over. So we still have a little bit of time for Q&A. Feel free to put those in the chat box or that Q&A box. Go through some questions here, and I'll just keep scanning for any more that come through. Aneesh, can you explain more about contextual analysis and why it's different from how other tools are analyzing Qual?
Yeah, absolutely. So we built our entire contextual analysis tool to look at that underlying context, hence the name, of what's going on in the data set. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to look at what's actually being said and not just at maybe like the keywords. So a great example of this is we were doing some work around like influencers and the power of influencers as a marketing tool. And, people were mentioning different influencers, and our contextual analysis tool was actually able to group them by the type of influencer they were. So if they were popular kind of music artists, they were being grouped as musicians. If they were popular, athlete, they were being grouped as athletes. So being able to look at that underlying context of what people are saying just leads to a lot more accurate insights and also a lot more human insights, right? Because that's how we as humans are going through this data and organizing the data in our heads.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. Can you customize the analysis output from your AI? And what if you want to dig into something deeper or tweak the outputs of the AI?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, the entire platform is built around having that level of flexibility and customization. So any of those AI tags that you saw that we walked through today, if you want to go and customize it to something that better fits your business or better fits how you think about a certain topic, you can. And the best part is the AI will then start helping you make those changes across the data set as well. So really powerful way to kind of guide the AI there and make sure you're always in control.
Awesome. And a question from Allison: thoughts on the precision of the AI generated theme categories?
Yeah. So Allison, we've done a lot of testing, and we found that, and this is testing we've done internally as well. We've done with our partners. In some cases, these themes, when you go head to head against, what ours are putting out and what, our partners might have been like their kind of gold standard coding from their internal team, anywhere from 60 to 80% accuracy in how it's being matched. So there's a lot of accuracy there. Again, it's never going to, at least we're not ever going to build our platform to get to 100%. We don't think that's possible. And also not the best way to run research either. The goal here is if we can get you to 80% of the time, 80% of the way consistently, then it just frees up a lot more time for a researcher to then, spend time on taking those insights and actioning off of it. So it'll never be a replacement for a researcher in an organization, but rather a tool that speeds up their workflows.
Great. Thanks. I hope that answers the question, Allison. Can you analyze the qual without the AI's help? And what if you see something Knit's AI missed or want to dig into another area?
Absolutely, yeah. So you can pretty much turn off all the AI features if you want as well. So it works just as well as a workflow tool. You can definitely analyze it without the qual. It might not be as fast, but we've made a really great annotation tool there. So that's definitely possible on the platform.
Very cool. Are there restrictions to the type of data you can import into Knit?
So today, it works best with open-end text data and quant data for importing it off our platform. If you use our platform to gather the data, then it works across open-end text, quant, video, asynchronous video, and then we have a lot of great features that will be coming out towards the end of the year that will allow you to expand that surface area. So I'm excited to announce those here in the coming months.
Very exciting. Awesome. Then the last question I'm seeing here, can you use NIT for just analysis, or do we have to field everything through NIT's panel as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can totally use this for just analysis. If you already have your internal panel, or you already have a data, some data sitting around in a repository somewhere, feel free to upload that directly onto NIT. You can also use us for end-to-end research. So we can help you from a survey to sample all the way to reporting. It's really flexible in how you use the platform. A lot of flexibility built in so that we can meet you wherever your workflow is.
Very cool. Well, great. I think that was all the questions I'm seeing. So we can wrap up a couple minutes early here. Like I was saying at the beginning, you can push the big book time with me button on the session page that will take you to NIT's website, and you can book another demo if you want to learn more. But thank you so much, Aneesh, for your time, and thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you all in the next session that will be starting in a few minutes.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.